Everybody, listen up because we're. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but what's up, guys? I'm trying something new here that just didn't work out. But today, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to beat the Gauntlet live events here and hopefully help you guys out in getting JJ Watt because he's a beast. So, the Gauntlet is here. It's probably going to be today and maybe even tomorrow too. I have no idea when they actually show at the live events. But in order to beat them, you just need to make a comeback and within like 45 seconds and score a touchdown. It's a pretty good defense. So if we want to move on to the team here, so a couple of positions that of course you want to actually pay attention to is you got your cornerback, of course, that's really important. You need a pretty good tight end, and also you need a pretty good halfback. Those are the three triangular positions that I find to be pretty important, or most important, in kind of beating the challenges. Of course, having a pretty good offense, I have a 93 overall offense. It's not the best, but of course that kind of helps with me beating it a lot easier. But there's also a bunch of plays that will help out. So I'd say a couple players that I would probably suggest you guys to take. If you guys don't have Gronk already, of course Gronk's the best tight end in the game. But perhaps try finding like what's his name? Vernon Davis, 84 overall gold. He's like 1K on the auction house, something like that. He's a pretty good budget beast. For halfbacks, I'd say go with this Dre Archer I have here. He may be around like 30 to 40K in the auction house. Also pretty cheap with 99 speed. Definitely someone you want to have on your team. That's why I have him as my flex, as my as my fullback too. And for the QB position, I have Colin Kaepernick. I just like someone fast, so I'd say someone like Vic, the 90 overall flashback Vic. That goes for pretty cheap, I'd say. Definitely get him as well. Those are the three guys that I kind of would like to recommend if you don't have my lineup right here. Of course, Colin Kaepernick is not the best QB. You get the 99 overall Vic, so if you have him, you're good to go. But let's get started here, and let's start playing Gauntlet for the first time today. And I've played this, I think, like 3 times, and I've actually beaten it all 3 times. So if you want to take a look here, we are down by a touchdown. We have 45 seconds to get a touchdown pass. So first play I always like to start off with is halfback angle. With that, you want to pass it to your halfback. Smith is going to cut across here, wide open, and hit a very, very easy 15 yards or so. You can absolutely spam this play like I'm doing right now. I'm going to just continue using it. So if you have Dre Archer, the 83 overall version, or even any really good halfback or with high speed will always help you out, of course. And here I'm going to talk a little bit, so I'm just going to call a quick timeout so I have more time to talk and choose a pretty good play for you guys. Another play I like to use is cross in here. That will give you a couple good yards to your tight end. So for me, Gronk is an absolute savage. So as you can see here, cross in right down the middle. That was a horrible, horrible example of what not to do, but we're going to try that again and actually show you what it looks like when it's done right. Doesn't get you too many yards, but Gronk's a savage and pulls out that first down. So we're just going to continue using halfback angle. I think for me, halfback angle is probably one of the most important plays because it just gives you an automatic first down basically. And you also want to use your timeouts effectively. So there we go right there. Another tip I want to give you guys is that force quitting is absolutely encouraged. If you really are having trouble and if you can't really score a touchdown, definitely force quit, start over, and you get a restart. So here I'm choosing just something for just a play to have my tight end, so Gronk, to kind of just split open and perhaps try and find the end zone there. Of course, that didn't work out in this play, but there's a bunch of different variations of plays that you can use for that. So I use the flanker spot, there's halfback option, which is pretty nice, but having a pretty tall tight end will always help you. So let's just try double hitch here. We're at the 20-yard line, and we need a touchdown. So what are we going to do? We're just going to throw it up. Okay, that's gonna fail. All right, no worries though. But a good go-to play I always like to use is halfback option, and this is why getting a pretty good tight end is pretty important because you need a good, tall tight end who has pretty good catch and to catch catches just like that. And that is the reason why you need Gronk, or perhaps a pretty good tight end and someone pretty tall as well. So perhaps Vernon Davis, which is like 1,000 coins, or just any low 90 overall tight end. because you're going to score a pretty nice touchdown there. And we're just going to kick in a field goal, this extra point here. And they have 3 seconds left. They're not really going to do a whole lot with 3 seconds left. So we're going to kick this one. Oh my god, imagine if I miss this. Okay, it didn't miss. That's good. I haven't actually played this game a whole lot, so I was pretty pretty nervous if I missed this kick. But we're just going to kick it off here, not a big deal. Another tip I want you guys to be aware of is notice how I really used up all the time on the clock. Oh my goodness. Wow, if they scored a touchdown there, that's another good reason to force quit, because that's a lot of cheese. You don't want to do that. But there we go. We won pretty easily, I'd say. So to go back to what I was talking about before. So basically, if you guys noticed, I used up basically all the time I had. I used up all 45 seconds, or in this case, or in this video, I used up 42 seconds. And the reason why I did this is because you don't want the other team, you want the offense to get a chance to score a touchdown on you, because their offense is pretty rigged. It's not pretty fair. So if you do score a touchdown and you give them like 20, even 10 seconds left, they're going to use that to their advantage, and they're more than not going to almost score a touchdown on you. So I'd say definitely use up all the clock. Force quitting is absolutely your friend. So if worst comes to worst, you can't score a touchdown, or if you do score a touchdown and they score a touchdown, force quit immediately and do your best to win it, because because this is single player and you're playing against bots, so you're not really cheating off anyone. So hey, force quitting helps, and I really do recommend it. So a couple tips, just take away to summarize the video here. Remember, get a pretty tall, good tight end like I do with Gronk, pretty fast halfback, just like Emmitt Smith or Jerry Archer, and a pretty decent or pretty fast QB to avoid sacks. That's really the reason why I liked having a fast QB. And all in all, you kind of want to spam either halfback angle, you want to spam perhaps cross in, or also double hitch or halfback option. Those 4 plays will definitely get you the majority of your yardage. I like to spam halfback angle most, so that's probably the most important play. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helped out. Leave us a like if it did, and I appreciate you guys watching and supporting my channel. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.